Hi everyone, my name's Lorraine and welcome to See Through the Big C. So this is a conversation all about cancer, and I'll be interviewing different people in the community, whether that's people diagnosed with cancer, healthcare professionals, or people caring for somebody with cancer. And I cannot wait to meet so many amazing people. So here we go. So hi Lincoln, welcome to See Through the Big C. I'm excited to have you here. Obviously, I've known you now for about 6 years, but we've never actually sat down and talked in like this type of capacity before. So
that's true.
I'm really looking forward to hearing your story and also of your wife, Anne-Marie. So the podcast is about sharing the stories of people diagnosed with cancer, but also people who have supported somebody diagnosed with cancer. And I know that's obviously something that you did for your wife, Anne-Marie. So yeah, I'm really excited to learn more about you and her.
Thanks for inviting me. It's,
Yeah, I'm glad to have you here. So yeah, to get started, tell me about you and Anne-Marie. What were you both like, your relationship?
Wow, gosh.
Big question.
I'll give you the short version. Anne-Marie, our families have known each other all the way back to the 70s. So my sister Gervis and her eldest sister Jackie were at school together. Our parents shared lifts. So although there's 11 years between us, because I was 14, she was 3, 15, she was 4. I left my bike at their neighbour's house. So they knew me, they were aware of me, and Jackie and Gervis played the violin together. I ended up accompanying Jackie when she did the LTCL, the Licentiate at Trinity College diploma. So I knew her, and my mother-in-law turned up at a wedding at Whitterbury in 2002 and went home and talked incessantly about the chap on the piano called Lincoln. Lincoln did this and Lincoln did that. And Anne-Marie said, why don't we hire him for Mum's 60th birthday party in November? Yeah. So as we sit here, it's her birthday. I know this isn't going out for a little while, but by the time people are watching this, we will have just had mother-in-law's birthday at the end of November. But so Jackie was tasked with calling me, but she didn't tell me that she was Jackie Smith. She called me by her married name, Jackie Barnes. So she was just another person. It's only when I turned up set up for the gig that I realised that I knew who this person was. Yeah. And of course, I had met Anne-Marie, and she was determined not to be impressed by this person. Oh, okay. Lincoln. She watched me do a concert with her mum, and she said, don't tell him he's good because he'll get big-headed. So I always remembered her. Yeah. Anyway, at the end of the night, she paid me and gave me an envelope with some money in, and she was wearing this lovely red top, and I said to her, it's a nice top. Yeah. She said, thank you very much. I said, next time I see you, make sure you're wearing it. Yeah. She said, I don't go out very much. I said, does your husband not take you out? She said, I've got a husband. She said, does your boyfriend not take you out? No,
yeah, just want to find out.
I said, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take you out for lunch then, put your phone number on there. Now, if she's sitting here right now, she's going to tell you that she would have put a different phone number down.
Really?
And we went to Memsab, as was.
Oh, wow.
For the Northamptonians will know it was Manfield's shoe factory years and years ago. Then it became Haveli, and it's now something else. But we went to Memsab, and she was determined not to give too much away, and we told each other everything.
That's special,
And as they say, the rest is history.
Oh, how special.
We were married 2005. So this July, of course, would have been our 20th wedding anniversary. And we always talked about, my career and how we would manage that as a couple, which to everybody seems quite complicated given the perception of what I do. Yeah. But the reality of travelling, playing,
it's a lot,
being Lincoln
isn't it?
Noel,
Yeah.
She accepts that there's Lincoln the person and there's Lincoln the personality, and she knows the difference, as do the kids. Yeah. And we discussed about kids and being parents and what our kids would be like, and the roles we would play. Yeah. And then the kids came along, and we were a great team. Yeah, it sounds so. The thing about Anne-Marie is that she and I discussed everything. So when we got to 2012, when she was diagnosed with cancer, you know, she had she works in the health sector.
Yeah.
So she was a health visitor at the surgery at Bugbrook. She said to the doctor, "Can you just have a look at this mark on my breast?" And he said, "I don't think it's anything, but go and get it checked out." And of course, we realised it was something more serious. And then we talked about what we would do. And she said to me, "Whatever you do in the vulnerable moments, just be there."
Yeah.
And I said, "Of course I'll be there, whatever happens." She always accepted that I would have to go wherever I had to go to play piano, or I would have to do as many gigs. And I said, "Well, whenever we're in serious situations, I'll always prioritise you." So it's funny, I played a gig at a castle up in the Midlands the night before she had her first procedure, which was a mastectomy. I remember the day, 24th of April 2012. So I got in at 1 o'clock in the morning, and we were up at 6 to go to the hospital. But we were both there, and I was, you know, saw her off, and that was phase 1, and then she did chemotherapy. Looking back, and if she was here, she would agree with me on this, as challenging as the 6 lots of chemotherapy were, and her having she was losing her hair, so she got Martine, and we've just lost Martine as well.
Yeah, who's Martine?
To the dreaded sea. Martine Henderson was Martine Godin Henderson was her hairdresser, and she asked Martine to shave all her hair off so that it didn't fall off. And we explained to our kids, who were 3 and 6 at the time, Lucy and Alice. I took them out to get a pizza. Martine came around and shaved her hair off. And then we allowed the kids to sort of get used to mum looking different.
Yeah.
And then we didn't get into absolute detail about chemotherapy. We just said that mum was going to have some horrible medicine that would make her feel a bit ill.
Yeah.
And we went from the end of June until the end of October. What saved us in terms of our mental health and our well-being was Wimbledon, the Euros, and most important of all was the London Olympics.
Just to give you something different to focus on, right? It's important.
Because the London Olympics was extraordinary.
It was amazing.
You know, we focused. We were on our honeymoon in the Isle of Capri when they announced that London in July 2005, we were watching it from the terrace of our honeymoon hotel in Capri, Italy, when they announced that London was going to host the Olympics, and we said, we'll probably have kids and we'll take them.
We're going to do it.
And suddenly we're in this situation where she's got to isolate from everybody just to make sure that her bloods would be absolutely right and no infections. And, you know, we had to kind of cocoon ourselves, the 4 of us. And it was watching, you know, Greg Rutherford, Mo Farrow. It
was an incredible
and all those
event,
amazing things that were happening that sort of kept our spirits up and distracted us from the reality of what we were going through. And then she had a year of Herceptin, 2013, and at the end of her Herceptin, we went to see the great Lenny Henry performing in a half full. How is that possible? A half full Castle Theatre.
Well, in Wellingborough.
And yeah, he was so funny. You know, comedians play stadium. We've got Alan Carr here, of course. I know Alan playing stadiums, and who's the lad from Bolton? Hey up, kid!
You know everybody.
And Lee Evans.
Yeah.
And I thought that comedians. I said, I've got 2 tickets to see Lenny Henry. I was helping the Castle audition their actors for their Christmas show, and they gave me the 2 tickets, and we sort of sat there. There's hardly anybody. There's 50 people here. And then Lenny Henry came out
and did his thing, and it was fine. Yeah.
Lenny Henry is so funny. Comedians, you know, as someone who plays the piano, performs, watching a comedian at work makes you realise, because we all think we're funny. We're all in the pub telling a funny story. But Lenny Henry, and we saw all the characters, Delbert Wilkins, Wildebeest. You know, that wasn't supposed to be in the script, but he decided to go off-piste. Yeah. Because there was only 50 of us. It sounded
like you guys needed that, though. That needed that escapism.
It's like kind of seeing myself. Yeah. Because, you know, everyone knows Lincoln's a bit of a character. And all these different characters, and then he turned into Scooby-Doo.
It's why you didn't get up on stage, to be honest.
But that was, I always remember that, because that was our reward for surviving.
Everything that you've been through,
that process, and she was absolutely fine. It was actually 10 years ago when I went to see my mate Daryl down in Portsmouth, and we were dancing, and she complained that her back was hurting. And with Daryl being a medic, the room was full of medics, and we spoke to someone who I think was an orthopedic surgeon, and he sort of looked at the back and said, go and see somebody up in Northampton. And that was actually the first sign that her cancer, we realise now that was the first sign. That was November 2015.
Yeah.
And she asked to have scans because she'd had a mastectomy in 2012, so she was having reconstruction. And
so from your point of view, did you think it had the reconstruction and it was all good? Is that what you thought?
No. That side of thing was fine. I mean, I'll come to Joe, the nutritionist later, but Joe reckoned that the cancer was still in her body.
Okay.
And it had gone to her bones. Okay. But she was diagnosed with stage 4 December 2016.
Yeah.
So we had 3 years of normality. We were back doing the things that we do. I was looking at my schedules. They were 3 of my busiest, because we were back to normal. Yeah. I played nearly 300 gigs in 2014. But the balance of our lives was good. I could do that, and we could go on great holidays. I say great holidays. We're British seaside mad, so we.
No, but still a holiday, right? It's still good.
I mean, at our wedding, we had a carousel, and we gave everyone a sticker rock with Lincoln and Anne-Marie in the middle. I saw a sticker rock this morning. I had to smile when I saw it. I wouldn't eat it now, but
no, you can't eat it.
But, I noticed. I was talking to the boys here at the studio about perception. Once Anne-Marie was diagnosed with stage 4, I feel, and she would agree with me if she was here, and the girls I know definitely agree with me, that the perception of what Anne-Marie had as stage 4 was very, very different. And overwhelming from outside our bubble, because people thought because she's got stage 4 she's done,
which is people's natural assumption.
When people would say to me, how's she doing, I'll say she's doing fine, they would then say, you're putting a brave face on it, but she was doing okay, because very quickly she scoured the internet and came across a lady called Jo Gamble, who's embracing nutrition. Her daughter had cancer, and Jo decided to study the cells, the behaviour, and ended up doing a master's, a PhD, and becoming a leading speaker on the subject of cancer. And Anne-Marie would go and see her in Coventry, and she advised Anne-Marie to change her diet, take certain things out, particularly sugar, and the difference that it made to her was just extraordinary. She went from not being able to walk to being able to walk, and her bones were strong. And she said, I'm going to keep you here for as long as you want to be here. And she used supplements, but it was actually the dietary choices. So we had to make some very, very big decisions about where we ate and who we socialised with from an eating point of view. If we were going to a party, she'd pick up the phone and say, is there any chance that you can do X or Y or Z? And a lot of people really struggled with that. So she ended up taking her own food, or we would eat beforehand, or, she did have the odd glass of wine, but she stayed away from alcohol and fizzy drinks and sugar in her tea and cow's milk. And
that was quite a shift, though, for all of you, though, wasn't it?
It was a massive shift. And my girls went with her.
They did as well.
For those who can see me on camera, I didn't. I carried on with my.
I can't do it.
Those people who know me know I like my Coca-Cola, and
we know.
and I love my food, but I carried on eating normally. Anne-Marie had great discipline. All the way through, she had fantastic discipline. Lucy, my eldest, She experimented with being vegan. I mean, Alice continued to eat meat.
Yeah.
So, you know, there was and the girls took a great interest in nutrition. They started to take a great interest in the preparation of food.
Yeah.
They took a great interest in shopping and knowing what to look for in terms of their mother and in terms of the household. And they developed their own exit strategy. So if mum leaves this earth, we will be okay. You know, Anne-Marie was always practical. Look, all I do is play the piano, right? I can't even run a bath, you know? Anne-Marie can put up shelves. She can drill nails into walls. My girls are exactly the same.
That's
we went to
good.
B&Q recently, and the big lad came and said, "Can I help you, mate? Can I said, "Speak to this young lady
I'm just here for support."
She's buying the drill. Yeah. So speak to her. And he kept coming back to me.
No, it's not me.
Don't talk to me, fella.
I can't help you.
Talk to her. What do you need it for, sir? I said,
no, not me.
You know, so the girls are very. I mean, if I leave the girls for 2 days, 3 days, you know, they're absolutely fine. Yeah. They know wash up dishes. They can even, you know, I drop them off at Sainsbury's. There are other supermarkets. I drop them off and they go shopping. Yeah. They will do the Christmas shop, and then I'll go and I'll pay. Well, I will oversee the paying because they might be, you know, picking up alcohol or bleach or, well, I mean, you know, they're 16 and 19 now. Yeah. If Alice is shopping, sometimes I have to accompany her, especially if she's got a bottle of wine or whatever. But other than that, they know how to do absolutely everything. It's amazing. Yeah. When we went to the stage 4 situation, a lot of people offered to cook. And I said, no,
the girls can do it, yeah.
And Lucy said, you don't need to bring anything because I won't be able to eat it anyway because I'm a vegan. So the girls were very, very independent. I think it will shock people to sort of see this and realise how well they doubled down from 2016. So when we got to lockdown in 2020, and this is the reality. A lot of people have said this to me during lockdown after we met. Yeah. Lincoln, you must be really struggling with lockdown, with not playing gigs. I did not struggle at all. Because what I had was an opportunity to be at home.
Which you don't really get, do you?
Which was, I mean, after a couple of weeks, there's 3 things I did in lockdown. I did a hell of a lot of networking, and as a result, I speak regularly to people in the States, Australia. I ended up having Noah, who I still see, and I know he's going to be watching this. Yeah. And he's down there in Chinchilla with his mum, Misty, who runs a group. And Ian Kingwell, all those guys down there in Darwin, watching, speaking, talking to them. I got to talk to these people on a regular basis and make relationships, key relationships, business relationships. Yeah. Australia, I've got Lisa, whose wedding I'm doing next year, who was my business coach, and she's in Harrisburg. So I could sit in my house and do business and learn about the art of running a business and sort of strengthen my position. Yeah. And these were conversations and things I couldn't do
before.
And then I could sit down and have a meal with my family.
Yeah, which is amazing.
And it was wonderful. And my kids took over all the cooking. So, you know, Anne-Marie started to get. I don't want to get on here and bash the NHS because
but you need
the NHS is a very
they do a good job. But be honest, it's important.
But there were little things that started to get loose. Joe unfortunately moved from Coventry down to Dorset, which meant that from a practical level, travelling, I mean, you know, I would travel anywhere, but that 300 mile round trip to Dorset to see her was not possible because we were in lockdown and we weren't really allowed to move around.
That anyway.
And speaking on Zoom is not the same as being in the same room. Yeah. So the way I put it is that she had 3 strong ropes supporting her, and when we hit lockdown, one of them snapped. And then the process being the process, and a lot of things became more difficult, and then it became one rope. And she was taking chemo tablets in 2022, and I remember she sat down with me. It was Easter Saturday, 2022, when she said to me, I don't think I'll be here this time next year. And that was a real massive reality check for me, because I had been living with the battle.
Yeah.
And we were winning the battle.
For such a long time as well.
Yeah. You don't, yeah, okay, she's lost her hair.
Yeah.
We're doing the chemo. We've worked out a strategy. We're getting through it. I'm still playing my gigs.
Yeah.
It makes sense to us. It looks horrendous to people outside.
Yeah.
But the girls are happy. But suddenly we're in this different place. Now, she had lost her dad.
Yeah.
And I had lost my dad. Our dads knew each other, and they both, Peter, my father-in-law, had Hodgkinson's. My dad had stomach cancer.
Yeah.
So we had both dealt with
Experienced
bereavement.
it, yeah.
Alice's twin sister was stillborn in 2009. So we were comfortable with the machinery of bereavement. We were comfortable with the process of managing the logistics.
Yeah.
We were comfortable with managing the outside noise. So as horrendous as people thought things were, we were actually in the groove.
Good. Yeah.
And we were in a good place, or as good a place as you could be given the circumstances, and we were happy and laughing and jovial and all the rest of it. But the idea that this person who I was really, who was my right-hand man, let's say, the person that I trust, the person that I love, she's half of me.
Yeah.
The idea that she could be gone was something that I had to really think about. In 2022, just for record, Anne-Marie passed away in January, late January 23. But from Easter, on Easter Sunday, we took our dog. Sorry, it's not our dog, it's Lucy's dog. We took Lucy's dog, Barley, to the seaside for the first time.
Yeah.
And Anne-Marie couldn't do that trip because she said, I just would feel too uncomfortable travelling that distance. So Lucy and I, first thing in the morning, travelled to Heacham.
Yeah.
And Barley was able to see the sea for the first time and have that experience. We did go to Hunstanton later on in the summer. My wife did make that trip.
Yeah.
And that's the last time we went to Seaside together, which was August. And she was still, to everybody else, looking quite normal and moving quite freely, but she was in a lot of pain. I realise now she was in a lot more pain
than she admitted.
Than she was letting on to us, because she didn't want us to worry about her. Very, very selfless, my wife was. But after September, she was starting to decline. I have a Christmas Eve birthday, and she was really, really, she was really, really good.
Yeah.
Aesthetically, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and then Alice has her birthday in January. And once Alice had her birthday, and I shot down to Eastbourne to do one wedding down there, and I knew she'd be okay, then it's almost as if she said, I can let go now. And from the 10th, the 11th, all the way to the 30th, we just managed that. That was tough for the girls. I remember sitting with Alice, we went to Lidl, and Anne-Marie had said to the girls that she was not going to do chemo, take chemo tablets. She was just going to let nature take its course.
Yeah.
And we thought that at least we'd get maybe a week or 2 weeks where we could just be
as a family.
But it was quite brutal, the way that the cancer just took hold of her and took her strength away, and she couldn't drive. We had to take her everywhere, and she was on a settee, and the occupational health people came in, and we changed the suite thanks to Anne and John at Hollowell's. They did a bit of fundraising. They just took out the old suite, and we got a new suite which is more comfortable for her. And we were kind of ready for that last stage. And the girls were 14 and 16, and they managed it really, really well. They took the decision themselves not to go to school and just be with their mum.
Yeah.
She went to the hospital in Daintree Hospital in Daventry for her last days, and the girls were there just with their mum, just being with their mum. And then she sort of slipped away, and we were all there. And her two of her best friends, Tracy and Susie, were there, and Joe. You know, they came, and they were there in the background. So we were all together, her sort of key lieutenants.
Yeah.
And then I remember waking up the next day and saying to the girls, I have to tell the world what's happened. I'd already messaged my mother-in-law, my sister, Jack and Sue, and the husbands and the nephews and the key people. And then I said at 9:30, I will put a statement out. And I'd sort of since 6 been preparing what I was going to write, so that everybody knows at the same time. You know, I didn't do it on Twitter. I did it on Facebook and Instagram and I think LinkedIn.
I remember it.
But and then it was almost like, have you ever seen Michael McIntyre when he gets somebody famous and he decides to get their phone and he texts?
And then it just goes.
And he goes, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
And there was kind of, my phone just exploded from that minute. It must have been 20 seconds. Because there's always somebody that sees a post. Yeah, there is always. Reacts.
Straight away.
And, you know, I'm not going to mention who that person was, but I know who the first person was that reacted. And then my phone. I always joke that if Cristiano Ronaldo is the most followed person on Instagram, if he's got his phone in his pocket, it is constantly vibrating.
That's what your phone was like.
My phone didn't stop moving. It just. My phone was like that for, I don't know,
probably weeks. I can imagine
8 days. There were texts coming through. There were messages coming through. People were leaving things on Facebook. People were leaving things on LinkedIn. One or two people sort of were calling. And I remember saying to my girls, this is the strength of feeling that people have. They've got to do this because they want to let us know that they care about us. It wasn't about Lincoln. It wasn't about Lucy or Alice, Anne-Marie. It was about
us as a family.
And in that moment, there's two things I felt. One is I felt extremely loved. And two, I felt extremely relieved.
Because of everything.
Because Anne-Marie wasn't suffering anymore. And it's like I've been carrying this, you know, like when you put you empty all the bins in your house and you fill the big black bag and, you know, there's all the stuff that you haven't taken out of the bathroom bin and the bedroom bin and the spare room. And you got this sack and you carry it downstairs and nearly fall downstairs.
You feel the weight,
because the bin men are coming in the morning and you got to get it out, because if you don't get it out, it's going to be, And it's almost like someone had taken that sack off my back. And I felt hugely relieved. But yet, there's nobody in the bed next to me. And that, because we got super king size bed. Because both our dads, my father-in-law was 6'6".
Wow.
And my dad was 6 foot. So if anybody ever sees my girls and says, where do you get the height from? It's our dads.
Yeah, they are tall,
My dads were tall. My dad thought he was a cricketer. He fooled me for years that he was a cricketer. And then we actually played a cricket match.
And he
faced one ball and he hit the ball so high, I thought it was going to come down with snow on it. And he got caught. And then we always teased him because my mum's from Barbados and my dad's from Grenada. And my mum always used to say, well, Grenada don't produce any test cricketers, so what would you know about cricket?
Which you clearly didn't.
So although my dad was 6 foot, he was no fast bowler. But I'm sure if Peter played cricket, he probably could have been a Joel Garner or a Bob Willis or whatever. But joking aside, we had a super king size bed, so it's a massive bed. So you know, I could snore and create a tsunami, and Anne-Marie can be so far over there that she doesn't get affected.
Notice.
But having a super king-size bed with just me in it, I think the night that Anne-Marie died, I said to the girls, do you want to come and sleep with Dad?
Yeah.
And they were in bed, and I'm sure that they heard me snoring and said, you know what, Dad, we'll be okay.
We'll be okay.
We're fine.
We're okay, yeah.
But joking aside, I felt hugely relieved that this whole ordeal was over. And then, of course, you've got the machinery of organising a funeral. But we had discussed every aspect of the funeral that she was going to have.
So she knew it was exactly how Anne-Marie wanted it.
And it's quite interesting because she explained to her family, while I was at that wedding at Eastbourne, she explained to her family what she was going to do, but they hadn't logged it. But she had also explained to the funeral directors
what she wanted to do.
She had a conversation with Hollowells and said, this is what I'm going to have. So look, it's good to be Lincoln Noel at moments like that, because there are loads and loads of people that you deal with and you work with who just kick in for you. Yeah. And Hollowells,
they are great people.
They went to Daintree and sorted all that out before we actually formally said, because they knew that they were going to be doing the funeral, and they took care of that. The first question, because she passed away on the 30th, I said to Simon, is Valentine's Day free? And he said yes. And I said, can we go for Valentine's Day?
Is that what you did?
And he said, why? And I said, because one, it's at half term. Yeah. Because Anne-Marie was working at Dustin Eldine School as a classroom assistant and a school nurse. Yeah. And she said to me that if she had a choice, she wanted her funeral to be on a Saturday. Okay. So that all the teachers could come. Yeah. Without having to worry about the children. Yeah. Although, of course, the teachers said to me that they would have come anyway, yeah. But the fact that it was at half term meant that, the teachers, I mean, of course, some people have booked to go on holiday and miss, but everybody that wanted to be there in education could be there without compromising their job. Yeah. And Valentine's Day is Valentine's Day. Yeah. The vicar at Church Brampton, who I knew really, really well, and I can't remember her name, so I apologise for the fact that I haven't given you a name check here. She asked me, are you sure about Valentine's Day? Because Valentine's Day won't be the same. And I said, well, in fact, I really, really loved my wife, and there's something very, very powerful about Valentine's Day. And she and I had spent, before we met each other, so many Valentine's Days being on our own. Yeah. When you're with Lee, and you and Lee are strong, and before you meet that person, you spend a lot of time in agony and solitude, wishing that there was someone there with you. I do work on Valentine's Day. Yeah. Every time I play an engagement on Valentine's Day, I always say to people, I just need to check with my girls, and I always run it past them. But so I'm comfortable with Valentine's Day. It's a lovely day, and I have lovely memories, and my kids have lovely memories. But before we were together, there were a lot of Valentine's Days when we were really, really lonely and looking longingly at other people enjoying that process. So, I felt kind of nice about Valentine's Day, and still do. And just in case anybody's looking to book me, I'm already booked on Valentine's Day.
Probably for the next few years, because you're so popular.
I've got to plug the Balls Lagoon in Western Fable Village. I'm there, I
wouldn't expect anything else.
Their people have spoken to my people and all that. And that was very, very powerful. And the day, of course, was very, very powerful. But she wanted it to be, she wanted me to be her husband first, and that to be the principal thing. So I said, Ian Clark played at our wedding and did the christening, so Ian played the organ. Yeah. We got Anita Hale, who played all the hymns from Come and Praise, which was the hymn book she used at the Bramptons when she was a little girl. Yeah. And Anita learnt all those songs, and they had a conversation about it. And you know, she had a list of all the ones, and that's what, between 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock, Anita played and sang, and Anita's brilliant, and that's what she wanted. She didn't want me to fly in Placido Domingo or anybody like that. She just wanted Cinderella in, and she was May Queen at her school, so she wanted the Grand March from Aida.
Amazing.
And I played it to her. I had to play it to her on our first date.
Yeah.
On our first date, she dragged me back to my house, and I thought,
"Ooh, what's going on?"
It's getting warm, Lincoln, you've done well. And she sat me down and said, "You think you're so smart, don't you? Right, how much ABBA can you play?" And
wow, okay.
and made me play every ABBA song I could.
You had to work.
I had to, no, I didn't play Grand March for her that day, but I did play Grand March for her. And that was her tune, you know. So she got taken out to the Grand March, and we had my favourite hymn, Praise My Soul, the King of Heaven, and her favourite hymn, Love Divine, All Loves Excelling. I spoke. She said, "I know you want to do the eulogy, and you'll pretend you're playing at the Palladium, and you'll make everybody laugh, and all the rest of it." And I did, and the girls spoke, and Kathy, the head teacher, she spoke as well. And then she said, "And then you lot bugger off and eat something to eat, have something to eat." And we went to Whittlebury. That was the only thing we didn't plan. Whittlebury was, of course, is my place. I do weddings.
That's your
it's
place,
where we had our wedding. It's where she had her 40th, and the Pavilion Marquee is her favourite place. Regardless of the fact that I am connected to Whittlebury, it was her favourite place to have a party. So we didn't plan to go there. We were going to go various places, and it didn't work out. And it was actually Tracy and Susie, who both had their weddings at Whittlebury, who were both connected to Whittlebury as well, independent of me. He said, "Actually, why don't we go to Whittlebury?" And I said, "No one's going to travel 40 minutes. No one's going to travel 40 minutes for a wake." So I said to Janine, who's my wedding wife at Whittlebury, you know, and Carol, the owner, we'll have some catering for about 50 to 100 people. And when I got there in the car, there were people everywhere. And I said to Janine, "Have you not opened the doors?" She said, "They can't get a seat inside." There was 300 people at the wake.
Amazing.
So all the chefs at Whittlebury had to drop what they were doing and make loads and loads of food.
That's really special.
And they did that for me. You know, and that was a very, very, very kind of personal thing. So I was expecting to have, you know, some lovely ham sandwiches and sausage rolls.
But you didn't get anything, did you?
50, 60 people, and Charles Sargent said to me there were 307 plates. So
that's incredible.
There was a lot of people who wanted to be there, who made that journey. You know,
to be there.
From Chapel Brampton to Whittlebury on the A43 on a working day on a Tuesday to do it. And there was a lot of people, I have to say, who travelled. One person flew in, and there were some people who did 200, 300, 400 miles to be there for us. So, you know, it weren't just Northamptonians there. My networking family
was there to support
as well. And, so, and then life has kind of moved on.
From there. I remember seeing you just afterwards at a networking event at, I think it was the Sywell Aerodrome.
Yes, that's right.
And that's the first time I'd seen you after Anne-Marie had passed away. And I remember you saying that, "I just need to keep going," and that's why you were there playing.
Yeah, it's funny because...
and you were there, you were talking to everyone as you usually do, but we had that conversation, and I always remember that.
Business Expo, I mean, he contacted me and said, you know, it's a few days after Anne-Marie, how do you feel about it? I said, funnily enough, it will be a great opportunity for everyone in the business community who probably wants to reach out to me, to be able to reach out to me, because I'll be there tinkling away. So it was more, of course we're there doing business and networking, but it was an opportunity for everybody who knows me to be able to just come up and give me a hug, and for me to receive that affection and love. And that was really quite therapeutic.
I could sense that,
Yeah, and I also played a funeral actually on the Friday after the Business Expo, and the people at Abington Avenue Methodist Church, which was where it was, you know, kept saying to me, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I was fine," because playing the organ, playing the piano, actually is quite straight. It's straightforward, and also I can. I'll be careful how I say this. People assume that I needed the piano for part of my recovery. I didn't. Playing the piano is what I do. It's my job. But playing music for the benefit of other people and giving them that therapy is a very, very important part of the process.
Yeah.
And I know I'm that conduit for that process, and I couldn't deny people that.
Yeah.
Because that makes them feel comfortable. Because whilst you're there's all these people outside who are also struggling because they don't quite know what to say and how to say it. And, you know, there are lots of people of, you know, we're people of colour.
Yeah.
But we both know lots and lots of British people who still have that old school British reserve, and they're not as expressive as many other people are. But that doesn't mean to say that they care any less.
Yes, it's true.
And I, in being on this earth for all these years, I accept, especially as a performer, that people show their appreciation in different ways. Some people will whistle and hoot, and some people just clap very demurely. But that doesn't mean to say that the person who's clapping demurely wasn't as emotionally moved by your performance as the person who shouts and hollers and snogs your face off and tells you that they love you. You know, and human beings have a whole range of emotions, and I was able to objectively accept and assess that. So to be at the expo was an opportunity for a lot of people to be able to express their feelings.
Yeah.
A lot of, even now, people still want to tell me that they're thinking about me and keeping me in their thoughts, their prayers, and they're thinking about the girls. And it's important because there are a lot of people who don't get that level of love.
They don't.
And I don't ever want to take my existence for granted. I know that Anne-Marie was a giver, and I know that I'm a giver. But sometimes, as one of our neighbours said, when Anne-Marie was diagnosed with stage 4 back in 2017, now you have to let people give to you.
Yeah, and I think you do.
And that's hard.
Yeah.
You know, when you're up there, sharp, busy, work, bang, sharp, busy. There are lots of people who are very, very busy. You know, they've got to be doing, you know, I went to a party at the weekend, and there are some people who can't actually just enjoy a party. They've always got to have a job. Yeah. And we're doers and we're instigators, and you know, you're a general, and you're a doer, and you're a driver, and you're an organizer, and you're a boss, and you have to make decisions. And sometimes you have to let somebody else actually make a decision for you.
That's what I'm trying to do. Not good at it, but I'm trying.
It's difficult. It's difficult to do because, you know, a lot of us are control freaks, and that, in actual fact, being married to Anne-Marie taught me to be accepting of other people. I became more accepting of other people because of her. Yeah. A lot of people will say, well, if she's married to you, she knows how to accept wildlife, you know. So, I learnt a lot from her about tolerance, and I'm still learning to accept that in the moments of anger, and I have had moments of anger, and there are people that have been on the receiving end of my angry moments. My piano students, a couple of piano students who I've given a hard time to, and really they didn't deserve that, and I've made that up to them. But you know, and all the families of all the people around me are very aware of where I am. Yeah. I'm a very emotional character, and what I mean by that, I don't mean that I'm out of control. If I want to show my love for something, I'm not going to hide it. I want people to know that I'm fully committed. You know, I met a bride and groom the other day, And she said, "You're just going to play the piano."
It's like, no.
I said, "If you want me to just play the piano, then you go and get one of those other 27 guys that's on your Google list. If I've got to just turn up and play the piano, you might as well just have, the Lincoln experience is."
Which we're very fortunate to have had with the Lewis Foundation.
I'm fully involved. I want to know who your mum and dad are, who his mum and dad are, who your girlfriends are, who the mates are, how did you meet, where did you go for the stag do. So when I turn up on the day, I'm fully immersed because this is their one day Olympics.
Yeah. And you've done that for us. Obviously, we've seen you. You've been with our gala ball for the last few years, and it's the fully immersed. You fully own it, but you can see your passion and your drive and your care for people, and that's why we love working with you, because you just get it, and you want to give, and you want to help, and you want to make a difference.
I'll take that.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
You really do.
But I also have to accept that people want to do it for me and for the girls. The girls, Lucy and Alice, in many respects, are dealing with all of this better than me, because they said, right, okay, we were. That's not a complaint. That's just an observation. That there are many aspects of their childhood that were compromised, and they are now fully enjoying being teenagers.
Yeah.
Alice is studying and she's making new friends, and she studied in London, which means that she's branching out and moving into a different demographic, and she's got people who are geographically around the country, and she's becoming a young lady. And Lucy is studying in Essex, and she's got new friends. And Barley is no longer with us; he's with Lucy. So Barley now is an Essex boy. Oh. And when we went to see Barley last week, he looked at me and said, "Who are you?"
Yeah, what are you?
You're from Northamptonshire. I am an Essex dog now. They're embracing the new chapters. They're looking forward. They know that I'm here talking about this, and and I'm quite a nostalgic person. I listen a lot to the tunes that we share together.
Yeah.
Our first dance was "Reach for the Stars."
Nice.
S Club 7. When I first met. When I first met Anne-Marie, she grabbed me and said, my sister, and I tried to ignore her because I had just played at a charity event for not Macmillan, Marie Curie.
Yeah.
And I was really, really hungry, and the chef didn't have any food for me. And I was thinking about how hungry I am. And she wanted to dance to "Reach for the Stars," and she ended up getting me to. So that's why it became our tune.
I'll think of you guys next time I hear it.
2001. She just grabbed me, and we danced, and she showed me the actions, and we've been.
Okay, I'm going to play it next time. I want to see that.
Well, we did. I'm sure they played it at the ball. Actually, I've got you, and you've got me, and Reach out. Whenever I hear it, whatever I'm doing, I have to stop what I'm doing, and I've got to dance to it. Yeah. That one and the theme tune to Austin Powers and Uptown Funk, and I've Got You by James Brown. If those 4 tunes play, I'm there.
Okay,
I'm there.
I'm going to make sure they're on the list.
To do what I want, those 4.
Yeah.
So it's I love Disappearing into Desiree and You Gotta Be and Beverly Craven and Holding On. They were tunes that I was listening to when we were together, and I, every now and again when I'm on a long journey, I just tap into those, and I go back to Anne-Marie and I enjoy that, and sometimes I have a good cry. Yeah. And then I'm.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm back in the game again.
Yeah. No, thank you, Lincoln. It's so lovely to learn about you and Anne-Marie as well, not just both of you and as you as a family. You're such a people see you as this big, bubbly character, but they don't get to often see the person behind it. And I think you've shared that beautifully. And I've felt like I've got to know you even better. So thank you. Thank you for being so honest and sharing. Thank you.
No, it's been a real pleasure. It's been lovely sitting on this plush leather sofa here. I never realised such wonderful places existed by the racecourse.
Thank you, Lincoln.
So,
no, thank you.
Yeah, and all the boys, a big shout out to the boys from Red Dot Media. Thank you for
amazing.
The production.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to the See Through the Big C podcast. I hope you took a lot of value from the stories that is shared and that it hopes to either educate, motivate or inspire you to take action. So thank you for listening.